warning.
Hello, and welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night. That, of course, means we're playing Remnant Shadow, our Star Wars actual play.
Sorry we had to break our 3.5-year streak, by the way. Someone had to go and get sick.
I think it was a 2.5-year streak, because I think we missed one or two during Espergenesis.
The only ones we've missed since I've been a player were the ones where it was literally like we're making space for creators of color. That was it.
Yeah, that was the only one that
Same.
That was the only one we missed, and that was in Espergenesis.
Well, no, that one was in Vampire.
No, that's right.
Was in
Yeah, it was
Vampire.
That was
Like I
literally
said,
the only one
I want to say
missed.
early in Espergenesis, I think there was one we missed, one or two we missed.
It might have been before I started.
Okay, so almost 3 years.
But it was a good
Good streak.
It was a good run.
It's been
a
a
good
long
streak.
run.
It was a very powerful streak that is not going to be duplicated anytime soon.
Fucking watch me.
Well, it would take a couple of
Give it another
years.
3 years.
We'll
So
get
anyway, if you didn't come by to try to watch last week, what we're getting at is, the GM was sick last week, so no session. Where was I?
would have
about to do introduction.
Yeah.
I'm
I
your
would've been
GM for the
weak
day,
last week,
Jason,
too.
and with me today is Eric playing Captain Area.
Just when you're about to say it.
You could just call him the captain. It's fine.
It's becoming a point of pride, but then I keep forgetting to check my pronunciation guide before, and then I, wound my pride. Sarah's playing Io, a nice, easy to pronounce name.
I had to do it once.
Jeremy is playing Ozen.
Also a nice, easy to pronounce name for once.
Next campaign, I'll get the crazy name.
We have Rappy playing Keltzer. And Duba playing Doc. And last session, you were playing taxi cab driver to some sort of operatives. You eventually found out they were working for CorpSec.
Mm-hmm.
Though some of them may have been independent operators CorpSec had hired.
Yeah.
But you took them to a little backwater world. They were slipping off into the night to do something. You were supposed to wait to pick them up. The commander of the unit was the only one that made it back to the ship, and he made it back being pursued by stormtroopers. You attempted to escape the planet only to find a small fleet in orbit around the planet as you were leaving.
Mm-hmm.
You were taken aboard the Star Destroyer. Or was it that next size down? I forget.
It was a destroyer.
Uh,
It was a destroyer, and it had like a few corvettes with it.
But anyway, you were brought on board where the captain promptly turned the CorpSec agent over to the Empire. Essentially with the attitude of, we didn't know nothing about this.
In his defense, he figured it would basically be like, hold him for a little bit. It's like, all right, bye. We got what we wanted.
You were kind of right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and then they just had to be annoying and, go, oh, we're going to hold you for a while. And you know how the captain feels about being locked up or has his freedoms infringed, in which case he took exception to that.
He also wasn't making money, so
Yeah, that too. He was actually angry enough that he spent money.
But you got aid in escaping from an unexpected source. I'm assuming y'all remember who it was?
The Good Hut.
Ludo the Hutt.
Good.
Well,
Good is an
relatively
overreach, maybe.
speaking.
The Good Hut.
Relatively speaking.
The Goodish Hut.
To be fair, he's pretty good for a hut. Maybe I should put it that way.
He's single track minded on the vehicle. How's the ship doing? And I respect that.
Well,
E.
he's the car guy.
Yeah.
E.
But anyway, he managed to slip Io a little device to help her hack the prison doors. That and some Oscar-deserving performance on Ozen's part. And you managed to get a jump on the guards.
I went back to clip that, and I'm disappointed that my cough didn't register as much. Like, I'm glad it didn't register, but also I'm disappointed that it didn't register as much as I thought it did.
So, a hair-raising moment or two getting back to your ship. But really, relatively low body count.
Yeah.
Though you did wind up with 2 stormtrooper bodies on your ship.
Oh, not for long. They're probably off the ship by now.
Oh, sure. It's been a week or 2 now. But you managed to escape. The Imperial ships have been hiding in basically like valleys and canyons on some of the larger asteroids in the system's asteroid belt. Which aided you in avoiding them long enough to get up to speed and jump out. Now, in the couple of weeks that have passed, you've generally kept your head down a little bit, doing a few small odd jobs.
How much?
And not doing much more than breaking even, truthfully.
Okay. I'll accept that. Don't need to make a barter roll every time we do this.
That or we just assume you're breaking even at any point that, we're not rolling dice.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because there would always be fuel costs and docking fee costs.
Supplies, etc., etc.
Yeah. Not fun stuff to roleplay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Anyway, in the intervening weeks, of course, there's a kerfluffle, because y'all were going to report this to CorpSec, correct?
I don't know.
I'm saying that only because I seem to remember somebody talking about it towards the end of the session.
We discussed it out of character, but the session ended with us jumping away. I say jumping, engaging hyperdrive to get away from the task force, and that's where we ended.
Truthfully, that could probably be where we start when we come back, is like somewhere in hyperspace. We just kind of talk about that for a sec.
Well, like I said, it's been a couple weeks, but y'all can take a moment here to decide how y'all want to have handled that.
I think Ozen would be all on team like, nah, snitch. But she also has a certain stake in that.
Oh, that's true. I forgot to mention that I ran into your Inquisitor acquaintance.
Could always report it anonymously.
Yeah, that'd probably be better.
Hot tip that there's some Imperial forces over by this comet over here in this coordinate, or this asteroid, sorry.
Well,
on this coordinates over here.
It's more of like we stopped here along a path and saw Imperial fleet, and we're like, nope.
Yeah.
We'll send him the dash cam footage.
Because reporting, hey, we saw these guys from the people who were supposed to bring back their operatives.
And I think the other thing we can mention about that is that they seem to be like in a state of repair. Which when someone goes back to see that, hey, this ship is kind of on fire right now. What happened? We blew out one of their batteries.
We didn't blow out one of their batteries. We took out one of their shield generators.
Well, there you go.
Because BL decided to roll almost max damage for a proton torpedo.
Yes, but the system damage done took down, it would be a temporary thing, but that did take down one of the turbo lasers they use, turbo laser batteries.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. Like they seem to be in a state of repair. That might sweeten the pot for CorpSec forces who might want to go intrude over there.
Might be better to say that it looked like there was some damage.
Mhm.
Because sticking around saying it looked like they were repairing meant we stuck around for a while.
Well, it doesn't take much to like see out of the rearview mirror. Oh, they seem to be. There's like little like sparks going off over there. They must be repairing. And as we're like leaving,
I vote for anonymously report location.
All right.
Anything they send
We're
off and not quote unquote anonymously, I will make sure to like remove any trace of their identification from like the file metadata or anything like that. Like,
Oh yeah.
nah, nah.
nah,
Mm-hmm.
you ain't knowing who this is at all.
Behold the power of being anonymous.
Yee.
Now,
Expect us.
what are you going to tell the contact that hired you to take these people and bring them back?
We waited and they never came back.
They wanted
go
us to
with
go to They want us to go back to CorpSec space, but he ended up going to Hut space, right?
Who? What? Huh?
So the guy we were supposed to take back, he was in one of the jails, and then he ended up going into.
No.
Oh, that guy.
One of Ludo's guys was in jail for picking fights with some of the stormtroopers.
Gotcha.
Like,
Yeah.
You
Okay.
never know what happens
playing
to the
cards,
other guy.
getting drunk, and getting in a fight, and they locked him in the brig until Ludo was ready to leave.
Gotcha.
Y'all never
Okay.
saw the CorpSec specialist again. There was some vague references to them questioning him, but he was not being held in y'all's little cell block.
Gotcha.
Y'all were in essentially the low security. It's why they had, the drunk crewmen. And then you guys that they were just going to hang on to until secrecy was no longer important.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then
Because
I think
because we were very cooperative, so they didn't feel like they needed to put us in high security. And they regret that now.
I'm sure we'll regret it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no repercussions, I'm sure.
Yeah,
It's fine.
yeah,
No, not at
yeah.
all.
All right, so you're basically going to tell CorpSec, or the guy that you're now fairly confident is CorpSec, that we let them loose and they never came back.
we could even tell. Well, no, because I was gonna say
What happens if the dude's alive and he gets back?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't gonna say we told him he's dead, but we could probably say that hey, we
could just say they found him when they searched the ship.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna get back around to us, I think, if we say that, because then they're gonna be like, "Huh, Imperials," and also this Imperial story that just came out. That's an interesting timing.
We waited.
He was taken
a
by
week.
Imperials.
We waited
Sure.
a week and we didn't hear back from him.
Mhm.
We couldn't find him when we went looking.
And then you can honestly go back and be like, well, why do Imperials want this guy as Aerda?
All right, so which are you going with? Are you claiming that you didn't come back, or are you claiming the Imperials took them?
IO votes we claim that Imperials took him because it's true enough without giving a lot of detail.
Yeah.
It's at least
think so
true
too.
from a certain point of view.
Yes.
Yeah. Because they absolutely did take
They
him.
did take him. We don't have to include the fact that we handed him over to him.
They took him, when we handed him to him.
It's the truth
It is.
Mhm.
from a point of view.
Yee.
Theoretically, now both sides know where the other is.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what you report to your contact. He is, of course, not happy about it. But he doesn't.
Assuming we don't
He
get
doesn't.
paid.
He doesn't blame you for the job going tits up. But
Yeah.
We include the part where he's the only one that comes back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you can even include the part where he said they were not expecting a
Imperial
troop,
force.
yeah,
A troop
Yeah.
of that size.
they were expecting a listening post, and what they found were actual troops.
Mm-hmm.
And a battle fleet.
It was actual like colonization efforts.
I
And
wouldn't
what's
go
it-
as far as say colonization efforts.
So
It was
if that's
more
what
of a-
we're
Go ahead.
that's what we're reporting, Aerta will say like he'll anonymously instead of anonymously he'll say, well, we can tell them, hey, this is where we were when we broke out.
That implies that we were taken as well, and we broke out without going and looking for him.
That's true.
Yeah.
Never mind. Anonymously.
I
Then.
think we're good
I
where
like
we
that
are.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just trying to not have both sides of the stories connect.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
And maybe like even wait a little bit before reporting the Imperial base.
Let's go with
Okay.
that.
All right, so y'all, all right, make sure I got this right. So y'all are making
Yep.
you're making your report to your client immediately, and then waiting for the anonymous.
Yes.
Okay.
And-
Uh. So yeah, then we start. All right, so then we'll jump to a few weeks later.
Yep.
Like I said, keep it head down. Just enough missions to kind of
Stay afloat.
keep your head above water. Without having to tap into your savings.
Keep R2 and droid polish.
Mm-hmm. So news gets out of this. CorpSec sends some forces out that way. When they get to the planet, I don't remember if I ever gave it a name. It doesn't matter. It's a backwater. One of its settlements has been attacked. Best that you can put the story together. It's like the Empire was pulling out and basically like orbitally bombarded, where their base was.
One coincidence.
I mean, not the base in the asteroid field. That was just where they were parking their ships. But
Yeah.
the base those guys were trying to break into when things went so poorly.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you recall, your passenger basically had, when he got back to the ship, had basically said it was like they had a trap set up for him, like they knew they were coming. So I don't know if you shared that part with CorpSec. But there were also a few sites within the town that were hit. The little spaceport that y'all had been parked at, it got pretty well wiped. And then like one or two kind of select, I mean, it's orbital bombardment with turbo lasers, so, it's not super precise, but
As select as you can get.
General
they
area.
didn't
this
flatten
this
the
section
entire-
in particular.
they didn't flatten the entire town, but there seemed to be selective targets within the town.
Mm-hmm.
They pointed an area and went to whom it may concern.
Right.
Per
Everybody.
my last email.
We're looking for this guy, and just, everybody that happens to live within, half a mile of him.
Mm-hmm.
CorpSec is throwing up a stink about that. There were no actual traces of Imperials once they got there.
Mm-hmm.
Though a few citizens on the planet claim to have seen them,
Up on the surface.
but nothing really provable. The
Well,
Empire has responded with revealing the presence of a Jedi.
Question: wouldn't there be some maybe footage of the troopers on that speeder chasing the guy?
There does not appear to be. It was the middle of the night when that part went down.
Okay.
And this was not a large town, It wasn't
figured
like
I'd ask.
super busy. But like I said, you get a few reports of people who like looked out their windows and claimed to have seen some of that. Not the actual fight y'all were in, but anyway, the Empire is claiming, Jedi infiltration into CorpSec. They are not specifically blaming this one incident on any Jedi. It's just sort of a blanket, they're there.
It's the Cry Wolf situation of like, oh, there's Jedi in CorpSec. Boogeyman.
Precisely.
Dun dun dun.
They claim that they are investigating, that they suspect the CorpSec is working, with these anarchists.
Oh, we're anarchists now. Sick.
CorpSec is like, damn, we wish.
Hey. They knew, they previously knew of one Jedi running around, and he has thrown the Empire into turmoil, so,
They always get all the credit, but then there's like the people, in the squadron alongside him. But, fuck those guys, I guess.
Nobody cares about Porkins.
Sadly.
But they are pledging to root out this infestation if CorpSec can't do it. There has been no actual. There's been no conflict, no violence yet between the Remnant and the CorpSec. A few minor incidents of them holding ships, questioning crews, but then releasing people,
Mm-hmm.
Some and this is mostly civilians. They haven't really gone after any like CorpSec security ships or anything.
They don't have the forces to do it yet.
But some members of these crews report having having to undergo like medical examinations.
We're gonna get your midichlorian count here. I mean, white blood cell count.
In Mandalorian, I think it was M cells or something like that.
Mm.
But tensions are ratcheted up. There have been a few incidents of random folks in some of your smaller worlds being accused of being Jedi and, bad sorts of things resulting from that. So that's the situation as it stands for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You are headed towards another little backwater planet, since those are some of the best ways to keep your heads down. And you're dropping off food supplies and a little bit of farming equipment. Nothing.
Like our Esper Genesis days.
Yeah.
Yep, just kind of random jobs.
Random jobs that turn into something very, very much more.
So anyway, you're landing on this planet.
Yep.
The guy that would examine imports and exports.
Customs officer.
Customs.
So yeah, you got a little customs officer down there waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a bigger community than the last one, than you were at last session. This spaceport does at least look like an actual spaceport. As opposed to, they just kind of pave this huge square, and that's just what they use. Put a little tower in the middle. So, he greets the captain as he gets off.
Mm-hmm.
Compares the paperwork. Asks make some small talk as you take him in to show him the crates, or as y'all check the crates, if the droids pull them out. However,
Mhm.
have a decent flight. Getting here.
Well enough. An easy flight's a good one. Less complications with the shipments that way.
Yep. Didn't run into any trouble out there.
Nope, no trouble.
Oh, good. I know over towards the border, I've heard they're having some issues here and there. People right here have been talking about it a lot.
That doesn't surprise me.
And your paperwork checks out and all that. This was not one of your shady jobs. What does the rest of the crew? What does the rest of the crew do during a typical, unloading cargo? Y'all just kind of out wandering about? Do y'all just stay in the ship?
For a majority of it, as Ozin's like, as they're unloading, Ozin's kind of like double checking to see if someone puts a tracker or something on something, or like tries to put something in the warehouse. Because it's happened a couple of times at this point, and she's not paranoid of it, but she's just double checking the workers to make sure. Is it droids that are unloading it?
Yeah,
or
the
is it
loader
people?
droid.
Yeah, y'all own a droid that unloads y'all stuff.
Right. Okay. Then yeah, if she's
now that we have that,
now that we have a loader droid, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, the loader droid is unloading everything. Other people can take it once it's off my ship. But if it's going onto the ship or getting off the ship, the droid takes care of it.
The other people's droids do not come on and off of your ship.
No.
Then I will amend that to make sure that is understood when people are coming towards the ship.
Yeah.
To just be like, you can get it once over there. You don't have to come in here.
They're a little surprised. Ships your size don't usually have their own loading droids, but okay.
This is a very special ship.
Captain
We're going
likes
to keep
his
it that
droid.
way. Captain has a little bit of a droid obsession.
I heard that.
Is it a
Still
lie?
right.
Yes. I have obsession with money, not droids.
Fair enough. So yeah, Ozin will spend most of her time doing that, and then when everything's all finally loaded, and if we have time, if we have any leisure time after that, then she'll just kind of just walk around.
Okay. As you're walking around the neighborhood, and there's restaurants and hotels and that sort of thing, kind of all around the spaceport.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like to, get out of the ship while they're on planet and stay somewhere a little nicer, eat somewhere a little nicer.
Yeah, Ozin will take in the sights, but make sure the work's done first.
Yeah. But so as you're walking around, you're looking around. People are going about the business. People are talking.
Anyone giving me the eye?
Oh, several people. Not just you. Because there are other ships unloading here. I wouldn't say it was a busy spaceport, but y'all are not the only people coming and going. And there's a lot of people that are clearly not from around here. This planet seems to be populated, primarily by humans. And they've all got a fairly similar, I guess, ethnicity to them. Like if you went somewhere, if you went to Scandinavia, or sorry, one of the Scandinavian countries,
Same basic cultural background.
Right. It's like
Y'all
you had
came
one
from the
big
same
group.
settler ship.
Yeah, you had one big colony expedition here, and not a whole lot of people have come in since then.
Okay. So they're not looking at me because, they've heard something. They're looking at me because I just look different.
Right. You're not dressed like a local. Some of the other people you see being looked at are from various other species. You think maybe your hair is catching a look too, because you haven't seen anybody else around here with red hair.
Yeah. It's in the side ponytail like this is too.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna dye my hair burgundy and I can work on a cosplay.
It might make your partner happy. You'd have to shave the rest of the beard off. Anyway,
very unhappy.
But you notice some of these other, some of the other obvious outsiders are. Some of them are being talked to by the natives, but it's not looking real friendly. I mean, it's not like backed up against the wall with lead pipes in hand or nothing like that. But you every time you overhear part of a conversation, it tends to be kind of, where are you from?
You're not from around here.
Sort of.
Mm-hmm.
You hear one, as they're letting the person they were talking to go, basically, telling them to, please understand, we've got to keep a lookout for dangerous sorts. Nobody has stopped to talk to you yet. Like I said, you're catching a few strange looks, but your red hair does not stand out as bad as that Duros guy over there.
Okay.
Say then there's the dude with completely green skin.
Yep. So yeah, she's just walking around. She'll grab a bite if it looks like people are gonna be like rough and tumble. She's not gonna she's gonna be like, hey, chill the fuck out. Not gonna immediately cause trouble or anything. Just wants to gonna take the table to herself in the corner or whatever as she's getting a bite and all that good stuff.
Room goes quiet as you walk in, but only for a second.
Yeah.
This is, one of the places by the spaceport, so
they're used to seeing weirdos.
Yeah. And you see one table, clearly full of a crew that are complaining about, the locals being so hostile this time, and the way they're talking, it's like, last time they were here, it wasn't, it wasn't like this. And one of the guys like, yeah, lucky, and he rattles off somebody's name. Luckily, so and so recognized us.
Mm-hmm.
But a droid rolls over to take your order.
Yep. Does this droid seem like it has a personality besides, can I take your order?
You can't really tell at first, because it does just roll up and kind of,
beep beep.
Welcome to whatever the name of the establishment,
All right, and I'll get my order and then I'll stop them for a second, be like, hey, there's a lot of people here that are complaining about the people who live here. Is something wrong?
Well, there was that news of the Empire, claiming there's Jedi running all around here. Some of the locals have just taken that to heart a bit. A little worried about it.
I see.
They don't want Imperial attention.
I wouldn't wish Imperial attention on my worst enemy.
No. But and there was this old kook that lives outside of town that some folks went by to talk to him, and they claim he did something to one of them before he ran off. So she's like, I don't know.
Interesting. Well, thank you very much for letting me know. I appreciate that.
Oh, sure thing. And she's like, I wouldn't worry too much.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. It's just an interesting development.
You know, the marshal and his guys are trying to keep a lid on everything around here.
That's good. Run a tight ship, and the Empire will generally leave you alone.
I hope so. You rolls off each order.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Keltzer and Doc, what are y'all doing?
Kelser would have seen if there was any work to do while waiting on the ship to unload. Maybe something quick.
Doc
There-
would have probably wandered over to the local apothecary, maybe, you know, just seeing if anybody could use some help, a little bit of that healing.
There is a doctor's office close by. And when you walk in and ask if, you know, they need any help, the organic doctor seems to get terribly offended. He starts asking, you know, other people in the room who let this appliance in.
Oh wow.
And proceeds to tell you, no, he does not. He has all the equipment he needs. He does not need your assistance.
Doc shrugs it off like, okay. Just walks right out the door.
The Lou Ferrigno Hulk ending, where it's just like sadly walking out towards the highway.
I mean, Doc's just wanting to help, maybe get a little extra credit for, you know, the ship and everything, but it's just like, if you gonna be an ass about it, he don't care. He's a droid. It's just like, all right, you don't need assistance. Well, fine by me. Yee.
So now I want to find some sound like music for the Hulk ending theme. What was it called? Lonely Man or something like that?
It's called Lonely Man or something to that effect.
Find some sound like Lonely Droid.
Just have like Doc, some art of Doc
slowly
going like
shuffling
this.
down the road, you know, the music playing.
That is a reference that like maybe most of us here will get, and that's it.
Oh, plenty of people, you know, of a certain age at least, will remember the whole thing. And Sci-Fi's rerun it, and MeTV reruns it.
That's fair.
Io, how would you be spending your downtime?
If she's aware of kind of how hostile, well, not hostile, but how worried the locals are about non-natives, and she's very non-native, she would stay on the ship.
Well, she would not become aware of that until she had, like, stepped out into public.
Do they have anything? What's their tech level? Like, could she go shopping for like little doodads and stuff on this planet or not?
Like I said, this is a bigger town than that last one you were on.
Okay, then she'll try and either refill supplies or look for anything interesting of her particular purview.
Okay. Don't know how much of their like real high tech computer type stuff they'd have, but
fun antiques, maybe, I don't know.
Oh yeah. And much like Ozen, as you start walking around, you know, and you notice right away that you're getting the side eye from some people, and you notice them kind of low key questioning, you know, other obvious off-worlders, and you see one guy kind of, you know, start to walk towards you, and one of his buddies just kind of slaps him on the side of the arm, and you just do make him out going, I don't think Twi'leks can use the Force.
You say,
when was the last time you saw one of them as anything but a dancer?
Why?
She's like, she wants to say something, but doesn't want to get questioned, and she just doesn't want to deal with it. She's just going to keep walking But if she like gets to a spot where it's kind of quiet, like no one really obviously around, she'll calm everyone and be like, "They're looking for force users."
Yeah, they are. I say, fully in a bar.
Also, heads up, Captain, they're looking at off-worlders funny. Like very obvious off-worlders.
Oh, fun.
Don't shoot a native just because they look at you weird.
And Doc will come over the comms. They also seem to be disrespectful to droids.
Okay, I might take that back.
So that comes over the captain. That comes over your comms. And the officer you're with is like,
is there going to be a problem?
No, I don't think so. Some folks around here have gotten a little tense with the whole political thing going on out there.
Right.
There hadn't been no violence here in town or anything like that. Just some people being jerks. Local law enforcement's not putting up with it, so I mean, use common sense. Don't go wander around in the middle of the night by yourself. Or anything, but that's good advice regardless.
I see.
And he finishes taking your docking fees and signs off the paperwork. And your droids are still pulling. Your droid is still pulling stuff out, and they've got some droids coming up, taking stuff off.
Yeah.
Now, Keltzer, you had slipped off to see if you could find a side job while you're here.
Yeah.
And there is like a little bounty board that you managed to find. It's kind of a combo post office police like substation. It's all built in the one building. They and you've got a few like minor things here in town. There is basically a bounty out for this slightly older human. According to the thing, he lived outside of town. Allegedly, he attacked some folks. It's not real specific on how or what. It's not a real high bounty. It's the highest one that's on the board. But, and it does specify that he needs to be brought in alive.
Okay. That sounds fine. She'll grab that. And ask in what direction. If it doesn't say on it.
If you walk in and talk to like one of the police officers or sheriff deputies or whatever they call themselves, because it's the local guys, not technically ComSec or CorpSec rather. Yeah, he tells you it's an old weirdo, lives outside town. Some people stopped by his place, and apparently he kind of attacked them. Nobody died or anything. But he's wanted in questioning about the incident, but also just some other stuff that's going on.
What direction outside of town, though? Unless
sure. He pulls up. He pulls up a map. He shows you. This is where the old fella. This is where the fella's I guess he'd call it a cabin. It's out in a little wooded area. Sure. This is where his cabin is. They say he ran off into the woods. He is a woodsman. He brings in furs for some of the local like clothing manufacturers and the occasional other odd something truffles that he knows how to find, that sort of thing. Really, just makes enough to kind of keep that roof over his head and fed and all.
Okay. With that, she'll head out to go.
All right.
Where he's at.
Excuse me.
At least try to find him.
All right. Are you letting the crew know where you're going?
Yes.
Okay. And as you're leaving the police station, would probably be when Io's kind of report on the situation that she's ran into. You've gotten a few odd looks, as you were walking around, but nothing that struck you as out of the ordinary. You always get looks when you're walking around in full armor.
Mm-hmm.
If you specifically mention the mark that you're going after, Ozan will like ring back and be like, give me a sec, I'll join you.
Okay.
And she'll finish her food, pay off whatever, and then run off to wherever Kelter is.
Okay. Y'all meet on whatever street corner that post office was on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Kelter calmed everybody. Anybody else making a response? And Captain, you're now, other than just watching the droids finish unloading, you're more or less done with what you got to do.
He's gonna go see if he can find some cargo to transport.
Okay.
Make more money.
Mm-hmm. Now, this planet's known for some of its arts and crafts kind of stuff. Within space close by, it is known for its furs. There's a few species on the planet that have, particularly nice fur.
With the fur.
Are they known for their apple-bottom jeans, though?
Ha.
No.
Deca got me.
I got it.
No, I got
It's
it.
the ha. You punk. No, he'll do a little bit of research, see which ones he'd be able to get the most profit from to sell it to. And then he'd get a decent amount. Like, the ship holds technically 92 tons of cargo.
You'd have a hard time getting 92,
Yeah, he's not
tons of fur stuff, but
he's not gonna go for that much by any stretch of the imagination. But he'll buy a decent chunk if he can.
Yeah.
To see if he can get a good profit off of it.
Okay. But yeah, you start checking out with local manufacturers. What are local goods that they don't have anywhere else, and you start coming up with a smattering of stuff that you could get in large enough bulk to be worth your time.
Yeah.
And Io, you're walking around doing shopping. Like I said, you keep getting
harassed.
It's mostly out in the street that people are looking at her funny. When she comes into a shop to spend money, they're usually, more than happy to talk to her.
Take your money.
A lot of the shopkeepers are trying to act like stuff's normal,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is there anything specific Io's looking for, or?
No, just
Knickknacks.
anything.
Knickknacks.
Oh, any technology that'd be comparable to what she has or better. Or just anything out of the ordinary that you wouldn't really find. Not so much black market, but like, oh, this could come in handy.
Okay. Let's see, just random stuff. You find a couple of restraining bolts. In case Doc gets a little antsy or something. They're older models, but they'd still work.
Nah, they probably still have the ones they got off when they cut loose all the droids on the ships.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I do have that marked on the spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
You find some old armor. You think it's stormtrooper armor at first, then you realize it's older than that. It's actually stuff from the Clone Wars.
That's like fighting World War II memorabilia at this point.
Probably more like fighting Vietnam.
Okay.
Well, it's even that though, because
Korea.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just thinking, time-wise, it might be more like something from Desert Storm.
Oh, geez. Okay, fair enough.
Because, Luke was basically born at the end, and he's only in his 20s, so, it's been some time.
Yeah.
It'd be stuff you'd find at like an army surplus store.
Fair enough.
Oh, look, it's a bunch of chocolate chip camo.
But it is not something you just have a ton of laying around. The Empire probably recycled that stuff more than it, surplused it out.
Yeah. If nothing jumps out at her, she probably would just head back to the ship. Pull her hood up, kind of tuck the Leku under, like around her neck, and just walk with a purpose back towards the ship.
Think murder.
Shoulder straight, murder.
Yep.
Just out of nowhere, clipboard.
You say that now, picture somebody running behind you with a clipboard, whack to the back of the head.
It could happen, probably.
So yeah, you got your hood pulled up. How is Io dressed? I mean, obviously got a hood on, but
probably just casual jacket, slacks.
Okay.
She doesn't have like the full robe thing going on.
Okay, that's the important part, truthfully.
Yeah, she probably realizes later on that pulling up her hood probably made her look more like a Force user. She would have probably been better leaving it down, but or at least the like storybook traditional looking Force user.
Mm-hmm. And you hear somebody, hey, what about that one over there in the hood? They wore hoods, didn't they?
Nope, just a dancer. No mind me.
And one of his buddies like, well, yeah, and everybody else that doesn't want to get rained on. They had the whole robes. They actually break into a discussion on the whole Jedi's wearing robes thing. Io just keeps on trucking. Meanwhile, Ozin and Kelter or Ozin has caught up to Kelter.
Mm-hmm. Just tell her, hey, they were mentioning this person in the salon I was in. Saloon.
Thing.
Slight difference.
Ozin getting their hair.
I was picturing Ozin in a dark corner drinking, and now I'm picturing Ozin in a dark corner with the big hairdryer thing on.
It's a big
Sarah. Brain cell.
Oh man. Yeah, she'll.
We have to have a spa day episode.
Curious to see what
Just go to a pleasure.
What's going on here? Oh God, no.
What? Spa day. Where'd your brain go?
But anyway, so this, this place, this guy's cabin is a little outside of town.
Mhm.
Probably want to rent a speeder to head out there. Though I suppose technically Kelter could just, sweep Ozen off her feet and fly out that way.
If they want to.
But getting back, if you find the guy, getting back with him and Ozen,
And plus, they're trying not to make too much of a commotion looking for the guy or letting the
Someone
guy
pulling up in a
know.
jetpack is pretty conspicuous.
Just a smidge.
Just yelling his name from the sky. Hey!
Shooting a fucking rocket launcher.
Oh,
Why can I see that happening to some bounty at some point that we do during this game?
Fuck you.
Kelts are just like, okay, I don't like this guy in particular. Flies over. Hey, put him up.
Just wait till we get them the jetpack launcher.
oh my lord.
I can take you in hot or cold, and I've already made my decision.
No. The addition you need on Kelter's jetpack are like those hooks that like mountain climbers will latch themselves to. So Kelter can carry passengers. Y'all just walk up, snap y'all's little hooks on her, and she takes off and drags y'all behind her.
No. Not little hooks, like little swings.
Oh lord. She's gonna
Oh,
need
man.
a much bigger jetpack for that.
A jetpack with a sidecar.
Right?
Oh man. That's funny.
So anyway, y'all rent you a little land speeder and y'all head out.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have no problem. It's slightly, slightly better than a dirt road heading out there. I mean, the main road is paved, and you get off into a little side thing. But when you took the bounty, they gave you a little, kind of like a tracking fob, but it's just showing you where his
The last known location.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you get out there, no problem. It's a little cabin that he clearly made out of local materials.
Mhm. I was thinking, like, we get close to it, we'll take off. We'll start going on foot and trying to be a little sneaky about it.
Could work.
Yeah.
So y'all creep up. You can see the front door of the house is open.
That's weird.
If you glance in the front door, there's stuff laid out on the floor. It's like somebody has tossed his house.
You think he ran?
Well, the report you got was that people showed up to question him. There was a confrontation.
Yeah.
And then he ran off into the woods. So.
Yeah.
I think we're looking for tracks instead of looking for a person in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'll do. I'll start looking for,
Okay.
A path that this person might have gone.
All right, give me a
Search.
Yes, I believe that's the one. Perception search. Yes.
Alrighty.
Oh, and you're pretty good at that.
Yeah. That's why I like rolling it.
All right, what'd you get?
10, 15, 25.
Got 16.
Okay. Kelter, there are lots of tracks around the house from a variety of different, types of boot, foot sizes, a lot of them are fairly fresh. I mean, not like, within the last several hours, but Ozen, you see a bunch of tracks. There's a bunch of them that lead back into the woods. You manage to pick out, okay, this set of tracks seems to be running on its own. Where these others, it's like there's a bunch of them kind of
bunch of people try to follow him
and spread out a little bit. And it heads, into the woods, kind of towards some hills that are probably a mile or two back from the cabin.
Okay. I'll kind of like look at see where they lead and like. I think you went up there. I'll point up to where the hills are.
Okay.
I'll get on the comms and be like, Cap, I'm gonna help Kelter with the bounty. Shouldn't be too difficult, but we'll be back later.
Try not to die.
I don't say anything.
The captain actually showed concern.
Ozen like goes and like is like Kelser sees Ozen like try to make like dark like in her head the gears are turning for like dark humor. She's like, better not. I'll take this one where I can.
See, I'm sitting there thinking more, oh, well, that's really nice. Or was that sarcasm? I'm not sure how to respond now.
Half and half. But yeah.
But you proceed, you're following the path, and you find where those tracks, they're kind of, you're thinking of them as out in front, where they start kind of backtracking on themselves and looping around. At one point, you think they may have actually been behind the people that thought they were following them. They may have looped behind.
This is a hilarious chase sequence that I'm living in these tracks.
Yakety sax.
Yeah.
Now, by the time you get to this point, you can tell by the kind of the weight of the tracks that nobody is running at this point. It's like initially there may have been some running involved. Now it's kind of a more methodical search. And you start finding the occasional like sprung booby trap.
Oh boy. Well, that's fun.
Tripwires. You find some ropes dangling from trees with like cut hooks on hoops on them.
There's nobody on them, right?
No.
Okay, cool.
But it looks like it may have caught somebody and they had to cut them down, that sort of thing.
Call somebody, cut them out. Yeah.
Now you do find one trap that's actually got a like little sharpened stake on it that there's some blood on.
That looks painful.
Yeah.
Looks like it would have thacked him about thigh high.
Ooh.
But
I could see why they put this on the bounty board.
Yeah.
And once you get to that trap, that's about where the pursuing footprints kind of end. There's a couple of sets that keep on a little bit further.
Some last stragglers are like, nah, this ain't worth it.
But yeah, this is probably where but pretty much where they decided, you know what, this is not worth it.
Yeah. And be careful up ahead. There may be some more of these that haven't been triggered.
Yeah.
It's kind of like looking at all the dangly ropes and stakes and bear traps.
How high are the trees?
They're pretty good sized. I mean, we're not talking about like sequoias or anything, but
Climbable.
Oaks.
Yeah.
More like pines.
Okay.
Uh,
Only just climbable then.
you know, y'all are here during the summer, but this place is kind of an alpine region.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of evergreens.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause no, Kelsey would have looked to see if there's like anything up at trees and whatnot. So.
All right, well, give me another search roll. Though this one will be opposed by.
Oh boy.
I haven't rolled dice in forever.
Oh, you didn't even play your other games?
No,
Got an
no,
11.
Let's see.
I got a 19.
Oh. All right. The number you needed to beat was an 18. So yes, you're going along. And Kelsey, you do find another tripwire. It's basically taunting up that if you had hit it, you would probably have fallen down, and then it was set up where like a log would have fallen over on you. Not a huge log like would have completely crushed you, but it would have. Somebody not in armor, it would have hurt.
Very inconvenient.
Right. What Ozen spots is, you remember the big net trap in Return of the Jedi?
Yes.
You have something like that, you know, sandwiched in between, you know, where you got a bunch of trees kind of clustered together and almost like a little path. It's kind of focused in there. And you manage to spot that before you trigger it.
It's like, hold on. Very.
Maybe this guy's a veteran from the Battle of Endor.
This guy knows what he's doing.
Except that was like 5 years ago, so he would have time to become a crazy old man.
He's worthy,
He was already
that's for
crazy.
sure.
Though to be fair, you did have that white bearded guy in the Battle of Endor, the one that they now claim is Rex.
But I know how it works, where like it's pressure based and it like goes up and whatever.
Mm-hmm. And counterweighted with stones and all that jazz.
Yeah, I think Ozen would like find a way to trigger it without like going like actually like one of us triggering it, like throwing something particularly heavy at it and just having it like do its thing.
So yeah, you chuck a big enough rock in there and it goes up.
Yep. All right. Well, that's that then. Mind that big tree. Step over that particular tripwire.
Kelser would as well.
So, you know, you spend several more hours traveling. You're starting to get up into the hills good now. And as as you're passing between, some decent sized stones, go ahead and give me one more. Actually, I don't know that this would be. This would be less search and more. Just give me a straight perception roll for this one.
Ten total.
14.
All right. So 14 is.
14 is just
range.
under. Yeah.
Right, just under the. And what did Ozen get?
10. So that's like easy range.
All right. So as y'all squeezing through these big, 20-foot stones or whatever that are jutting out of the ground. You don't hear it in time to completely avoid it, but there's like a small rock slide.
Is it like narrow, or do I have to like jump out? Am I able to like jump out of the way? Is it just narrow, or is it? Am I clocking it too late?
You're clocking it too late to avoid having gotten into the little narrow area.
Sure.
That's kind of got you funneled in, and it's kind of funneling this rock slide.
All right.
I've never actually used the rocks fall everybody dies, so
Get that one off the jam list.
Only if you all die though.
That's fair.
It's gonna be difficult with most of the party back in town.
Gonna have to be a really big rock slide.
I guess we will use. Let's see, dodge is we'll count this as a ranged attack. So, both of you give me dodge rolls.
Yep.
I'm not going to give you any penalties for being closed in like this. I'm just counting that into the number of dice I'm rolling like for the attack.
Yep.
Sheesh. All right, so 35 is the number of the attack rolled.
Get that one then. I rolled an 11.
I rolled a 19.
All right, so a 19 for kill.
Oh wait, 19, 21. 21, sorry, 21. I forgot to add the 2 to my dodge. But I have to dodge.
Okay, does your armor take anything away from your dodge?
Oh, that's right. I do roll 1 less dice.
So it'd be, that's dice based, not.
Yeah,
plus,
it's not a numerical. It's straight up dice.
Yeah.
All right, but we are counting this as medium range because the rocks were, far enough away for me to build up a decent speed coming down, but they were a little distance off. So that's a baseline of 15 plus the 11 from Ozen. All right, so that gets Ozen's difficulty up to a 26, but it's still going to hit Ozen.
Yep.
And did you re-roll for Keltzer?
Oh. 18.
All right, so 18 plus 15.
I think you actually missed.
Actually, that's an exact tie. And I usually let that go to the players. I forget exactly which one it's supposed to go. All right. So yeah, Ozen manages to find a crevice or just hit a quick burst from her jetpack to get her up just a little up above it.
Kelser.
So
Ozen's the one eating shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I swapped names around. Sorry. So yes, I need a strength roll from Ozen.
Alrighty. 11.
$16.
That literally doubles. So yeah, I'm wounded now. Sorry, incapacitated.
So Kelso, for just a second, you see Ozen just disappear under this pile, under these rolling rocks.
Oh, that sucked.
Kelser would go and help get Ozen out of the pile of rocks and rubble.
Her hair's like down and stuff now.
Oh yeah.
Ow.
Got the makings of several good bruises, probably a shiner.
Yep.
Little goose egg on her forehead. And you hear from somewhere up in the hill, you hear somebody calling down, "Leave me be! I don't want to hurt nobody, but I'm powerful. I'm mighty powerful in the Force."
Yeah, sure you are.
Oh, the crazies come out, huh?
Yeah. Ozen's going to attempt to control pain at this point. Am I minus 2 dice or 1 because I'm incapacitated?
Incapacitated is 2.
Well, before you do that,
Kelser
does have med packs on.
Oh, okay.
So they would give
Okay.
Ozen one of the med packs.
And does that require a medicine roll? Or is that just a declare it? No. You got to make the. All right, so make a medical roll.
Where's the medical at?
It's under.
I see it. Not great. I gotta put my points into that. That is 11.
Okay.
Incapacitated, so do not recall the difficulty, but I don't think it's super high.
Actually, incapacitated is 15.
Oh, I wasn't gonna get that because I only have 2D into the medicine.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Try.
All right, but Ozen, you were making a roll for your control pain?
Yeah, I failed it. Yep.
Okay.
The DC's a little higher because I am incapacitated.
Yeah, well, but Kelser manages to dig you out, you know. Tries to patch you with med kit, but it's not doing that. That doesn't seem to do a whole lot of good.
I'll save it for when Doc sees me later. It's fine.
Okay.
Let's just grab this guy and go. Kind of looking up and just like popping a joint or two back into place.
That one shoulder that always comes out of joint.
Yep. I think it's just double jointed at this point.
Not sure that's how that works. So y'all start back up the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Now, y'all taking any kind of precautions? How are y'all going about this now?
Well, since he knows we're here,
Health really isn't the move anymore. Kind of lost the element of surprise.
might as well just use my jetpack. See if we can get a better advantage. And if he is as strong in the Force as he says he is,
then he can knock us out of the sky.
We'll see. Kelser's gonna grab Ozen and then go up.
My guardian angel again.
Oof. So y'all launch into the sky. You're racing up, you know, towards the summit of this hill. And you start to see where this place is kind of pockmarked. For a second, you think it's a bunch of natural caves. Then you realize it's probably been some kind of mining expedition here at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Give me another search.
Yep. Okay. Even minus 2 dice, that's a pretty good roll. 22. I rolled almost max on 4 dice.
16.
All right, he got a 22. And what was it you said you had, Ozen?
I also got a 22. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah.
Then yeah, when you get up into the air, both of you see what looks like a little campsite built among some rocks. They got a little fire going. Ozen, what you notice is a little bit further up the hill, and to one side at the mouth of one of those little mining, little mines, I guess. You just do see, maybe it's a robe, maybe it's just a long coat. You're not really sure, but you just do see somebody ducking into that, and you realize that spot up there's got a very nice vantage point on the campsite.
I'll point out to Kelser.
And Kelser will head to that direction.
Okay, so you can go and land in front of the tunnel mouth of Bounty Troll. And you can see a little ways in, but it's fairly dark in there fairly quickly.
Now, say out loud as I get out of Kelser's arms. Nobody wants to hurt you. Just want to talk.
Them fellas what showed up at my house wanted to hurt me.
We're not them.
Yeah, one of y'all's in full battle armor. Tain't an encouraging sign.
Have you ever seen a Mandalorian outside of their battle armor?
Ma'am, I ain't never seen a Mandalorian. Just heard them stories.
Well, there you go. Yes, the stories where they're always in their armor. They sleep in it.
Seems about uncomfortable.
Who am I to judge?
Something you get used to.
See? I'll tell you what. You said you're a practitioner of the Force, right?
Oh, I'm a powerful wizard.
Oh, you're a powerful wizard? Is that what you call it?
It's what the locals call it.
Is that the locals call it? Okay. Well, I mean,
well, you would know a lot of backwards places kind of sometimes refer to the Jedis as wizards.
Viziers, wizards, yeah. What do you know?
I know I was minding my own business when the men showed up.
You're already proclaiming you're a powerful wizard, knowing that the imps want you. Or whoever
got to do with it. This is just folks from town.
Well, there's a reason they're being so cautious. It's because the Imperial forces are after somebody who is a Force user.
Well, maybe they should go find that person. Leave me alone.
So you're not a Force user. You're just really good with traps, maybe?
I ain't done nothing with no imps anyway.
They kind of do stuff to you. I'm slowly making my way forward.
And from the sound of his voice, he's been slowly moving further back into the cave as he's been talking.
Look, I would be like those other guys and just have left without, like, after the first trap went off on me. I just want to talk. Don't want any trouble.
And I just won't be left alone. We ain't all getting what we want, though.
Guess not. I'll pat Kelser and be like, alright, I'll back you up. You take point on this.
I'll be right back.
Yep. Okay.
They just want to hear your side of the story. They said that you attacked these people, and all they want to know is the truth.
Those people attacked me. Ain't nobody in town gonna believe me over them, though.
Why would they attack you, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know. They came by asking about all that Force stuff.
And you told them yes?
Of course not. Not till they attacked me.
How'd you escape anyway? Do you have your own house booby-trapped?
No, that'd be stupid.
Like a fox?
Get up to go take a whiz at night and, half asleep, knock over your own booby trap. Bad way to go.
But why would they come asking you about Force?
I don't know. It didn't make no sense to me.
Did the town know that you had Force powers? Anybody in town?
No, they shouldn't have. I just go in and sell my furs and my truffles and stuff.
So you're some kind of
maybe I get a drink every
wizard.
now and then, and maybe they have to throw me out of town every now and then. But
the town trunk.
Only every now and then.
Uh-huh. I enjoy a good drink every now and again, too. Nothing wrong with it. Look, can we talk candidly without continually shuffling towards the back of this cave?
Well, if you can stop shuffling towards me, I suppose.
Do we agree to stop shuffling towards each other and to stop moving for a moment?
If you stand still, he'll stand still.
I'll stand still.
All right. He's still far enough back in the dark that you can't see him, but
Sure. Like, there's got to be something else to this. You're just like being the drunk of the town or enjoying drinks every now and again and getting kicked out wouldn't warrant them coming after you.
And asking about Force. The Force.
If anything, that'd be less likely.
Huh?
They were saying something about I'm too good at catching the stuff I catch.
Maybe you're just
that
really
must be
good
something
at
weird.
It. Sounds like a witch hunt.
So because you're a good hunter, they came after you?
Yeah, they talked like I was an odd one or something. I don't know. Like I said, they just showed up at my house.
I mean,
and
you're definitely eccentric, but there's nothing wrong with that.
I eventually told them to sod off, and they got shovey, so I shoved back. And, well,
Can I roll my perception to see if he's like as my insight check here? I know there isn't like strictly an insight check.
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception, I guess. Yeah, bargaining falls into that, so I
Yep.
accepted it.
I got nothing. I got a 3.
Oof.
The attributes are also like reduced, right?
Yeah,
Or is it?
because the pain would
Yeah.
be distracting you from things like your
Yeah,
perception.
yeah.
So, yeah.
That's exactly what's going on. Yeah.
I mean, he definitely seems like an odd duck, but he doesn't. You don't get the impression he's particularly lying or anything, except
Sure.
maybe about the Force stuff.
Listen, how about this? We take you in. You answer their questions. We bring you back.
We bring you back. It's not getting kicked out of town again. We'll bring you back ourselves.
Who are you that I can take you at your word?
God.
When I tell you I'm going to do something, I always make sure it gets done.
I hear you Mandos always get your man.
Yeah, but I don't go back on my word.
Yeah, but if you took a bounty, hadn't you already given your word that you're going to bring me in?
Yeah, and I'll bring you in, but I'll also bring you back.
So if the sheriff decides to keep me, you're gonna shoot our way out.
I'll make sure he doesn't keep you.
Yeah, we're not predicating our escape on failure. We are making sure that this is a success.
All right, one of you give me a bargain roll.
All right. Go for it, Kelser.
I only got 3D. So
Better than 2D.
14?
12.
Hey. We'll be with you the whole time. Both there, and then we'll walk you back to your cabin.
All right, fine. I'm coming to you.
We're not moving.
And sure enough, older fella comes shuffling towards you. He's got a decently long leather coat. Definitely
Like
seen
duster
some
going on.
wear. Patched up. He has got an old, looks like some kind of old slug thrower over his shoulder.
Mm-hmm. It's not like, excuse me, it's not clocking as like force.
No, he's just got an old.
It's got it. No,
it's an
I
old
mean
hunting
him
rifle.
himself.
Nothing specific. But it's not something you necessarily pick up on automatically.
Unless you're in a Jedi temple, and then it's like shooting fish in a barrel.
But he's got like an old hunting knife. He's got some gear on him.
Mm-hmm.
One of them liquid rope dispensers on his belt, that sort of thing. He's got an old gray, scraggly beard. End of his nose is kind of red. Got bags under his eye.
Yeah.
Skin looks like leather that's been rode hard and put up wet just from being outside all the time.
Definitely looks like an outdoorsman.
Oh, definitely.
Yep. You look like the very picture of an outdoorsman who's spent their life outdoors. You don't look like horseshoes to me.
You'd know what one looks like?
Yeah. I turn and start walking.
He follows after you. He kind of gives Keltzer a look, but so she's not going for her gun once he became visible.
Yeah. Both of us just hands where he can see them. We'll walk him back to town. Easy enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try another control pane as we're walking along, unless there's like specific traps. I assume because he knows where they are, he can tell us, "Hey, avoid that."
Yeah, he warned you about one or two. Some of them you'd already discovered and probably disarmed.
Yep. Nothing yet.
But yeah, it's starting to get dark by the time you get back to his place. And then it's just a little bit further on to where y'all had parked your speeder.
When we get to his place, I'm like, I don't know how I don't know if they're just gonna like just keep your slug thrower like somewhere where you can't immediately reach it. If you have to keep it on, you just put it somewhere where you can't immediately go for it.
He puts it in like the trunk of the speeder or whatever, the store, whatever kind of storage space it's got.
Yep. Oh god, it's a classic like southern hunting truck where it's just like a rifle sticking out. Yep.
Oh
just
god.
hung up in the back window.
Yep.
All right, so y'all drive back into town. Now, what have the rest of y'all in town been? How would y'all have spent the rest of your day?
Probably just on the ship doing maintenance.
Yeah, Doc would be helping with that, checking to see if there's any medical supplies I need to get more of. Re-up, as it were.
While y'all are doing that, you get the equivalent of a knock on the door.
Click, click, click.
Can we look out the peephole?
People.
Yeah, your R2 unit.
We're gonna knock out the door. We got a peephole.
The camera on the gate.
What happened?
We just got a knock on the quote-unquote door.
Yeah, well, Io and Doc are on the ship. Now that you're back, I guess you're on the ship as well.
Alrighty.
R2 alerts you that there's 4 individuals out
there. Check the camera, see who these 4 individuals are.
Looks like 4 locals.
Are they armed?
You can tell for sure at least a couple of them have side arms on their hips. Nobody is sitting there with like drawn weapons or anything.
Do they look anything like the people that were and does Io remember any of them as, hey, maybe they're a Jedi, or hey, they only wear robes, or
they look very much like any of those people, because all the locals kind of resemble each other.
Yeah, he'll crack open the door, I guess. Yes.
Hello, Captain. My name's Cord. We were just wondering if we might have a moment of your time to ask you just a few questions.
It sounds like it'd be one of those things that is a lot more than just a moment of my time.
Well, it really shouldn't be too much.
Certainly hope not. I've got money to make.
A couple of the guys behind him are looking at you kind of wide-eyed. You know, it's a big green man.
He looks at them. Can I help you?
Oh,
the people who are eyeing him, obviously.
Oh, yeah, they're just with me. Just wondering if on your trip here, if you had any passengers or if anything odd might have happened.
The only passengers are my crew. Why?
Any of them, like, particularly good at cards or games of chance? Any of them seem to, know anything before they should?
It's called card counting. What do you want? Get to the point.
Look, we're just trying to make sure that we don't wind up with any of them Jedi on our planet. One of the guys was like, well, other than old Calm. Yeah, but we got people looking for Calm, so.
So that's who they're after.
Beg your pardon?
One of my crew is a bounty hunter. Told me they were out looking for someone. Probably picked up the bounty for whoever this old Khan is.
Oh. I wish him luck then. And when you basically say, "Oh yeah, my crew's out there trying to catch this guy," but they all seem to kind of calm down around you a little bit.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you see him in the background, like just carrying him, kicking and screaming to the post office.
No, not quite.
No.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Well, no, sir. We're just sort of a community watch, trying to keep an eye out for anything odd.
Fucking Karen PTA moms.
So
it's an HOA.
Even worse.
To understand, you interrupted me balancing my books after this transaction while working on another, just to ask me a few inane questions.
This is gonna turn.
Well, sir, security is very important, especially out here on the fringes.
Yes, it is.
I apologize if our safety is a waste of your time.
No, you beating around the bush before I got it out of you was a waste of my time. Next time, just ask me directly.
All right, then. You have a fine night, sir. And as they walk away, you hear someone talking. Are all off-worlders a-holes like that? So they may not like you, but they don't seem suspicious of you now.
He shoots back, "No, just me." And then closes the door.
Making friends wherever you go.
Yeah, well. Combination of throw them off the trail and piss them off enough they leave me alone.
Do we want to let Kelser and Ozen know?
You go ahead and do that. I got books to finish balancing.
You know there's droids that... Oh, never mind. Passes on to Kelson and Ozen. Ozen. Kelser and Ozen.
You're already making ship names for them. That's fine.
Yeah,
sure.
Totally fine.
My brain is just mush. She passes on to the two yahoos.
So y'all
buddy copping.
Y'all get this message while y'all are driving back to town, with presumably old Calm in the back.
Presumably. And Kelsey would be like, yeah, we don't really think he's what they're actually thinking he is.
Well, they think he's what they think he is, so
yeah.
Be aware of the local.
He's literally just a man of the land.
He's been hunting long enough to know what to look for.
He's probably, truthfully, older than I am.
Oh, he's definitely older than you are.
Either way, just be aware and don't overextend your stay, perhaps. I have a feeling we're going to want to get off this world quick.
Working on it.
Can you tell Doc to meet us close by?
It's a planet. Could you please be a little more specific as to close by?
Just Captain chimes in, "What the hell did you do?"
The edge of the town.
Well,
Which
like I
edge?
said, he's really good at traps.
She'll spout off wherever they had exited out of.
Just by the post office or wherever you
before the
post
before the post office.
Sure, like a block before.
Doc, who is probably on the line. You heard them, right?
Certainly. Is there any extra equipment I should need?
No, we got med packs here.
Wonderful. I'll see you there.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Did we get the
Every like
feeling if droids going out by themselves would be a bad idea?
You didn't see anything other than Doc's experience. Nothing else you've seen in town would indicate that that's going to be a problem. You know, none of the establishments that you're in that happen to have droids, they seem to be particularly marked upon by anybody.
Okay.
All right, so y'all meet up. Ozen looks like she's been hit by a truck.
Hi, Doc.
Greetings, Ozen.
Mind. At least make me look presentable here.
Affirmative. This should only take but a moment.
Forgets the med pack, starts pulling out makeup and covering up the bruises.
Little do you know, with my precision of hands, I can easily hide any blemish.
Doc can give like the best like cat's eye eyelash job.
Mm-hmm.
See how people are going, I know, I can cover any blemish, and you just see him put his hand like over the blemish where you can't see it. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
35.
Smartass mode active.
All right, so a 35 that definitely blows past the difficulty.
Yep.
It's actually off the difficulty chart. So you're no longer incapacitated. I believe you're only wounded now.
Yep. Now that I have 3 dice to play with, I'm going to try to control pain again. Because I feel like I'm going to have to talk here.
I mean, you just promised the bounty that you'd take them home safe.
Yep.
You shouldn't have to talk your way out of anything.
Uh-huh. I finally made it. Both because I'm only wounded now, and because I have another dice to play with.
All right.
So
You're only wounded
I can
now.
play with all my dice instead of just having to take penalties.
There you go.
All right, I assume y'all drive the rest of the way to the police station.
Yep.
Y'all walk in the front door. Old man, right there with you. A few people on the street notice who you've got.
Yeah.
You walk in, there's a guy sitting behind a desk. He's leaned back, feet kicked up on the desk. As soon as y'all walk in,
Evening.
Feet. Well, hello there. That didn't take y'all too long at all.
We're really good at our job now. Hi, I'm Ozen. I'm with Kelser here.
He shakes hand. I'm Deputy Kenneth.
Nice to meet you. Are you working on this? She points behind her case.
I'm here, man at the desk at the moment.
All right. So we're going to clear this out, and then when we have. Is there somebody we can talk to who is on the case?
Oh yeah. I'll call the sheriff and have him come in.
Cool.
He wanted me to if as soon as y'all showed up with
Please do so.
Mr. Dare,
Mm-hmm.
which is the name he drops, referencing the old man.
Mr. Dare.
So yeah, he gets on the conference quick. Hey, the bounty hunter showed up. They've got. Oh yeah, he's. Don't look like he gave him. He got his nose in much trouble.
She's at least standing upright despite whatever bruising she has left.
Well, y'all come this way. We'll get him situated in our little interrogation room.
We'd like to stand with him. We made an agreement, and it's
yeah, it should be fine. And he takes you to a standard, think a standard modern interrogation room. It's a table, some chairs on either side. But as you get back there, you hear some more people coming in. So the deputy gets y'all situated. Tells you he'll be right back, and when the sheriff gets here, the sheriff will handle paying you.
Thumbs up.
As you sit there, you're starting to hear some. All right, is it just Keltzer and Ozen that came in, or did Doc come in with y'all?
Doc would have wandered in.
Okay. I thought it'd be awful rude if Doc walked out to meet y'all and y'all drove off without him.
Like, all right, screw you. Just like do a pop-out wheelie and take off.
And that's when the campaign. And that's when the campaign shifted was to ending with a droid uprising, led by Doc.
Not again.
You can vaguely hear some talking going on outside, and voices seem to be getting raised. Now, are the captain and Io still hanging out on the ship, or do they come with Doc, or what's going on here?
Didn't they say off-worlders probably shouldn't go out at night by themselves?
Well, yeah, but you shouldn't really go out by yourself at night anyway, in a big city.
The captain's staying in the ship in his room while he does his books.
Okay.
And making sure he has everything in place to sell that order of furs and other various things to the other planets to make a profit.
Local delicacies, local handicraft items,
Speaking of, I'm going to make a bargain roll on that since we never really went into it.
That's fair enough.
Gonna see if he can purchase it a little cheaper, so he can make a better profit.
Okay. The number beats a 9, so you probably can.
19.
Okay.
So double. Do I get a better profit?
Yeah. We'll have to discuss what that is at some other point.
Fair enough.
I'll look at how much luxury goods are, or whatever.
Beyond that, there's a commotion.
Yeah, it's definitely gone from. All right, sounds like a conversation. Sounds like a slightly heated conversation. Starting to sound like a bit of a commotion now.
Fight?
Maybe not a fight, though. You do hear maybe somebody knocked a chair over or something.
Is this in here in like the sheriff's office, or is it outside?
It sounds like it's out, where the deputy's desk was.
Gotcha.
Kind of out in the office area or lobby area.
I'll look at our bounty and be like, "Stay here, please."
Yeah. Don't sound like I want to go out there.
Let's go see what the fuss is, Kelser. Just in case we do have to shoot our way out of here.
Yep.
Wish y'all let me keep my gun.
It's in their speeder if you want to go get it.
Oh yeah, you're funny. You're funny, real funny.
Open the door.
You can hear people shouting at the deputy. That it's dangerous for them to keep somebody like that in here. They need to just kind of take care of this problem right now. And the deputy is shouting back, they're going to wait for the sheriff to get here. This planet ain't Tatooine where, you just drag people out into the desert and leave them or nothing. You literally demanded the sheriff put a bounty on his head to bring him to town, and now you're mad that he's here in But deputy doesn't seem to be having much effect on the crowd. Enough people have pushed their way in that, they bumped a desk, they knocked a chair over,
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like anybody's been intentionally violent yet, though.
Sure. Just aggressive.
Right.
Telstra's gonna look at Ozen and be like, go back in the room. One of us needs to be in there to protect him.
Hand on her shoulder. You got this, I guess. And she'll go back into the...
Alright, Kelser, what are you doing?
Going out
Swear to God,
there.
the first thing you do is shoot your blaster out. I'm going to fucking laugh.
Well, if they're
Flamethrower.
arguing, she is actually gonna take her blaster and shoot up in the air. Get their attention.
That hole in the ceiling's coming out of your bounty.
That's fine.
A few of the people quieten down when they see you round the corner in the full armor. I mean, it's just, noticeable and impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them are too busy yelling at the deputy, something about protecting their children. And that crazy old man probably, tricked their mind or something. So you walk out, you just pull a gun, fire it in the air?
Yep, just right up in the air.
The crowd all kind of, jump back and look over. The deputy actually spins around and has a gun, hand on his hand dropped into his gun when he sees it. When he sees it's you and the what you're standing, he's like, "Geez, a little warning."
Would you have even heard with all the arguing?
Fair. And then he starts talking to the crowd again. Look, we've got a full-fledged Mandalorian here to guard this guy. Her people used to fight Jedi all the time. You got...
And who says this gentleman's a Jedi?
Well, when he said that, you had one guy in the back there go, "Didn't they lose?" But anyway, then you basically go, basically asking, well, who said he was a Jedi? And you got people shouting different weird stories, this, that, and the other, different weird stuff he's done. And one guy go, "My brother went out to his cabin to talk to him. And he shoved one of them other guys off of his porch without touching him.
Turned me into a newt.
I got better."
Are you sure he didn't touch him? Well, you weren't even there.
Several of the other crowds start shaking their head. Yeah, and they start naming off other folks that were there that that they know.
See, we were told only 2 people were there. And you're naming more than just 2.
And the tracks Ozen saw would have corroborated the story that he told us, right? The old man told us.
Yeah, and there were several sets of tracks following. It wasn't just the 2.
Okay.
It was 2 that went on a little bit further past everybody else. Once you got to that actual kind of spike trap.
Yep.
You got one lady kind of pushing her husband. "Well, go back there and get him." And he just sort of gestures at Kelser like, what am I supposed to do with that?
You want him, you have to get through me.
Give me a bargaining. No, bargain or command?
Not really a con.
No, it was definitely not a con.
Command, maybe?
Bargain or command, whichever one you've got, if you've got one of them.
They're both the same dice.
Okay.
17.
Well, that is higher than the 15 you needed. Man, I was really looking forward to y'all getting to a fist fight with civilians where y'all really couldn't just whip out.
She's waiting for somebody to come up. She won't shoot them. She will punch them.
Armored glove to the face.
Basically.
But nobody seems to be willing to take you up on that dare. Yeah. You know, you got a few people trying to ag everybody else on, but they ain't stepping up themselves either.
Just a bunch of dogs barking in place.
You maintain this stalemate for a couple of minutes, and you start hearing shouting from outside. Very deep-voiced man. You know, make a space, get out of the way. And you see who is clearly the sheriff pushing his way into the crowd. And he starts screaming for him to clear this room. When some of them protest that they've got a right to be here, he's like, fine, the crowd can pick 2 representatives that can stay in here, but y'all go, y'all decide that out on the sidewalk and then send them back in. He sees, he looks over his deputy, gives him a nod. He sees Keltzer basically squared up in front of the hallway back to the interrogation room. With a hole in the ceiling above her. Looks at her helmeted face, looks back over his deputy. What happened? Gives the explanation. Steps up, Keltzer. He offers you his hand.
He takes it and shakes it.
Well, I'm glad you got a. What was that guy's first name? Dare was the
Dare
last name. Tonus.
Dare.
I'm glad you got old Tonus in here without any harm. He's an odd duck, but I ain't believing none of these weird stories, about him. I mean, he drinks a little much when he's in town, and I question what sort of mushrooms he gets into out in the woods. But
just meeting him, he doesn't seem like, or even feel like, a Jedi. So, or even a Force user at all.
Well, I won't question your expertise on that, but
while they're talking, I'm going to activate life detection. And the difficulty is very easy if the person is a Force sensitive. Is all it is. I'll roll my sense real quick. So otherwise it's very easy if the person is has Force skills or is Force sensitive, moderate if not.
Okay, and this is the lie thing?
No, this is life detection.
Life detection, gotcha.
Yeah.
Alright, give me a roll.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total.
Yeah, you're not particularly detecting life then, because that's an awfully low roll.
Very easy is 5. So if I'm not detecting anything else, then
then you can probably safely conclude that nobody in the room except you is Force sensitive.
Correct. That's mostly what I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jeremy is pretty convinced, but wanted verification.
Yeah, trust but verify.
Does that work when it comes to trusting in the Force?
Yes. She kind of just looks him up and down, like, for what it's worth, I believe you. You're not I don't think you are a practitioner. I don't even think most of the people out there really believe you, except they need a scapegoat.
Yeah, they stupid at the best of times. I can only imagine how stupid they are when they're scared.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll get you back
I'll
home
absolutely shoot any of them that come at me, though.
soon. Again, speeder.
But out front,
Mm.
like I said, the sheriff thanks Keltzer and motions for you to head back to the interrogation room with him. Calls over his shoulder to the deputy. When those chuckleheads outside pick their representatives, send them on back. Sheriff gets in there. He kind of gives you a look, Ozen. Oh, I see what the deputy meant by didn't give you too much trouble.
Huh. This man is just a very skilled huntsman. He's not any kind of a force user.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought he was. He looks at the old man. How you doing, Tonus? And there's he asked Tonus to give his side of the story. They showed up at the house. They this, that, and the other, and then it was a confrontation. Once they got violent, I got violent, and then I ran off. Before he gets too in depth into it, though, the deputy opens the door and lets 2 more people in.
Mm-hmm.
Sheriff gives him a stern look, tells him, they can ask questions, they can comment, but they're gonna behave themselves, while they're in there. Of course, they immediately want to know what he did to whichever guy it was that supposedly he pushed off the porch without touching. At which point the old man, brings up one of his arms and slides a small blaster pistol out of his sleeve. The sheriff looks at the door that his deputy just left. Didn't even search you for weapons. I'm going to need to hold that, Tonus. The old man hands him. I'm getting that back. It's set on stun anyway. So yeah, the way he force pushed the guy off the porch was a stun bolt point blank. To the spokesman who had stepped up on the porch with him, where everybody else was still kind of out in his yard.
It's a neat trick.
The old man's like, yeah, been a great idea if I had thought of it that way, but he just got in my face and I just shot him, but and they proceeded to break down everything. The traps, he already had traps set up because he is the paranoid old mountain man.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly, most of the traps he set up weren't particularly fatal. The rock slide, yeah, that could kill somebody. The spike thing certainly could have killed somebody, but it was not. The spike wasn't long enough that it was going to really get in deep in a torso or anything.
It also wasn't like poison or anything.
No, nothing super crazy. Now the sheriff still has some issues with it because you don't own those lands. You're not allowed to go trapping just a random wilderness. He does pay Keltzer the bounty. He gives it all to Keltzer, y'all can divide it up how you want to.
Yeah. Split it between her and Ozen.
What's the bounty?
We'll say 500 credits.
So 250 apiece.
Hey.
Now the sheriff does want to keep the old man in custody, though for his own safety, sort of thing.
We can walk him back to his cabin. That's not a huge issue.
Yeah, but he might be attacked.
I mean, they discussed what actually went down in front of these representatives, and the sheriff is going to step out front to talk to the crowd, blaster pistol in hand. Probably going to make the deputy step out with him for a demonstration. You always search a prisoner for weapons.
That's your punishment.
You would assume a bounty hunter would have done that before he brought him in, but still, you always.
I mean, but he had the proof to show, this is the player speaking, the proof,
Yeah.
But Kelso's gonna look at the guy and be like, "Would you be okay staying here, or did you want us to take you back?"
There's a good 15-minute probably argument between you and the sheriff trying to talk him into into staying. But the sheriff does finally convince him, hey, just till things settle down a little bit, If the crowd accepts the explanation and everything's kind of calm, in a day or two, yeah. The sheriff will run him back, offers to run him back out to his cabin. Let's see. So yeah, all of you minus the old man, who you notice the two representatives from the crowd when they were brought in did refer to him as calm, even though the sheriff and the deputy were using what you presume is his actual legal name. And the crowd outside, when they were, when some of them will say anything about him, it's always calm. Which you don't know what until one of the guys refers to him as Crazy Old Man, and you realize they've abbreviated Crazy Old Man and used that as his name.
Ah. My lord.
Hicktown, man. Hicktown. So yeah, sheriff steps out front. They do give a demonstration of the point blank blaster pistol, but they use a sign and not the deputy. Though the sheriff threatens to use the deputy the next time something like this happens. So they give the explanation to the crowd. The crowd mostly seems to accept it. It all makes sense. By the time they're walking away, most of them are like, yeah. He's a crazy old man. We shouldn't have thought that he was actually dangerous or anything. You got a few that seem less than convinced, but you always want to have those extra suspicious types. It's just enough of them that the sheriff probably has a point, and let's keep him in custody.
InfoWars crowd.
But what was a decent sized lynch mob, or potential lynch mob, it has dispersed to, it's just a few disgruntled folks still kind of upset.
Right. Probably head back to the ship, Kelser.
Yeah.
Before y'all leave, sheriff thanks you again. He doesn't know. He doesn't know if bounty hunters ever need recommendations, but if you do, you can drop his name.
I remember that.
Me too. Was it proceeding to never mention that person's name ever? It's just bad news tying your end with me.
Hey, I'll keep that in mind. What was the sheriff's name? I've got no idea, and I'm not asking.
The sheriff of this backwater planet thinks I'm a pretty good person.
But so yeah, y'all get back to the ship. Captain Io, y'all hear the deck open, or the gangplank open.
Honey, I'm home. She immediately goes to her room.
BL, when the door, would you hear BL? Identify your. Oh. Greetings.
Moves the gun off to the side and just keeps.
No, he lifts it up as soon as he sees. Oh, greetings. I'd heard there was a lynch mob. I was prepared.
We talked them down. It's fine.
I suppose that's one way to control a crowd.
Can't always go guns blazing. That's how you get imps on you.
Very true, ma'am. You can't always do things the fun way.
Fortunately not. Anything happened while I was gone?
Just the visitors.
Visitors?
Probably part of the lynch mob.
Gotcha.
They were perfectly polite.
Just beating around the bush a bit.
Most people call that conversation. The captain calls that a waste of his time.
For inane nonsense? Yep.
Yeah.
Now, if they were there to talk, like, shop.
But anyway, the rest of the night can pass uneventfully. The various wares that the captain has ordered, what hadn't been delivered, immediately, is delivered the next day. All the payment transfers go through for the supplies you dropped off.
Mm-hmm. How much was that?
I told you we'd have to discuss that after straight. I didn't write down an amount.
Okay.
And if there is nothing else that you want to do on this planet, y'all can take on off. Or if there is something else you need to do, just let me know.
I think we're good here.
That was it. He was gonna head to the sell point once he has everything on board.
Okay.
As we're leaving, just as a cinematic point of view, it's like Ozen's just like, weird old man, really good at traps. Apparently that makes you a force user. She sounds mildly offended.
Is she pondering the cube? Ah, crap, it's not dark enough for you to see it pulsating.
I was actually seeing it pulsate in the background.
Was it showing up? Okay.
Yeah, it was showing up pretty good. Like
I wonder if I
very
slid one of my
faintly.
lights around, if we put it in shadow where it show up there.
Very faintly goes. I like the undulating blue. We're back to that now.
Yeah. Undulation.
Okay. All right.
Well,
but anyway, so
once we get everything in, he'll ask Io to check it for any trackers or tracers or anything like that someone might have.
Yep, she will go over it with both eyeballs and technology.
Yeah, you don't find anything.
Cool.
Yeah, the chances of a bounty hunter managing to run across you on random back worlds y'all go to pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
As you're leaving the system, you get a message from Ludo the Hutt. Telling you he would like to meet you for dinner.
Find a way to tack onto the debt.
Shoot, I forgot what planet it was though. Anyway, he'd like to meet you for dinner. He tells you what planet he's on, and that he'll be there for a couple of weeks.
I is immediately going to be looking for any kind of Imperial presence on that planet.
Captain will respond back saying that he's currently on a job, but he will head that way once it is complete.
Delightful. I'll have to give y'all the name of the planet next week. As far as Imperial presence, there's no indication that there's any currently. Once upon a time, sure, there's a couple of old Imperial bases on the planet. CorpSec has flat out taken one of them over. It's actually using one of them as its base on the planet. But in other news, there was a small skirmish along the border between the Remnant, a couple of CorpSec ships encountered a Imperial corvette, and some shots were exchanged. The CorpSec ships eventually broke off the attack before there were any major casualties on either side. So, but that's what's going through the news cycle. As y'all are traveling off to sell your next load of cargo. And that's going to wrap us up. It's we're wrapping a little early, but y'all managed to avoid getting into fights with squads of civilians, which I guess saved some time.
Don't want to punch a civilian. It makes our story look bad.
We'll try harder next time.
It's a lynch mob. I mean, gunning them all down, okay, that'd been a bit much, but some corporal punishment would have been fine.
I just feel bad that Rappy and I took like an hour and a half of the session.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Don't worry, everybody's going to be involved next time, whether they want to be or not.
Oh boy.
I mean that in a good way. Nothing ominous about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that
Nothing
sounds,
ominous.
that sounds
I'm calling it
Nothing.
now. I'm calling it now just because we like this NPC, so Ludo's gonna do something bad to us.
Ludo is not going to do anything bad to you.
He wouldn't
Next session.
He wouldn't want to unless he could do it in a way that takes us out of the ship first.
Well, we're coming to dinner.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I know what I said. He tows the ship away, and then he can do whatever he wants.
So anyway, y'all get 2 skill points.
Woo!
Cool.
But I hope everybody had fun. I certainly did. I hope the folks came by to watch us enjoyed it. Hope you'll come back next week. If you're looking for more games this week, Jeremy, what else have we got going on with Dire Bear?
Well, there's a few games that are on break right now, but one of them just came back last Sunday, so we'll talk about them. On Thursday, we've got A Night's Ransom with Pink Rambo. Nothing on Friday. Saturday, we've got The Stolen Cities with Lorekeeper Alex. And then Sunday is going to be the second episode back for Varenheim with GM Trail. Monday still has the Troubleshooters for now. It should be rounding out that campaign pretty soon because they're going to the Wild Beyond the Witchlight after that. And then come back to us on Tuesday for Remnant Shadow, a Star Wars actual play.
Very good, very good. So until then, we'll see y'all later.
Bye.